Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stimulus check update and second stimulus check update for June 26, 2020. The TRIP Act, you know the details of it. It's nothing breaking. $4,000 tax credit aimed to incentivize people to travel more than 50 miles away from their house, and the federal government is supposed to reimburse you for travel expenses, for meals, for events, lodging, etc., etc. Republican Senator Martha McSally from Arizona proposed this bill. Let me just get into her background real quick, and you're gonna see exactly why this bill is making my blood boil right now. That's why I got the red tie on today, because it's bonkers what is happening right now in Capitol Hill and how they are supporting all this mess and this facade in order to think that they're trying to help you, the people, and help this economy. Martha McSally. First off, if you're watching Senator McSally, thank you for your service. She was a colonel in the Air Force, first U.S. woman to fly in combat and to lead her own squadron. Much respect to all our veterans. Nonetheless, among the two people who receive the most political contributions from auto dealers for new and used cars, who is it? Senator Martha McSally. Who stands to benefit from this bill if it gets passed? Auto dealerships, of course, because if someone's driving around a 10-year-old jalopy, they may have the notion of, you know what, let me go ahead and change this car, especially how attractive financing options are right now. They're deferring payments for 3 and 6 months, very low interest rates. They want people to start driving to buy new cars, so they stand to benefit if this bill passes. And the automotive industry in general has been ramping up political contributions everywhere. President Donald Trump alone, I just looked at 2 industries classified under automotive, and the contributions are already add up to more than $1 million. Who else is among the top senators who receive the most amount of money from auto dealerships? And I know you guys love them. Just hold out. Just bear with me. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. He is among the 4 people who receive the most political contributions from auto dealerships. If you take a look at FEC filings for Senator Bernie Sanders, got like 4 or 5 industries that stand to benefit from the TRIP Act. Which ones are there? From airlines, auto manufacturers, auto dealers, foreign imports. Collectively, these industries that all stand to benefit from this act, first off, he is the top recipient of political contributions from these industries that I just listed. And collectively, they have donated over $1.3 million to Senator Bernie Sanders. Now, bear with me. Connect the dots here. This TRIP Act is aimed to replace what? Direct payments. They're trying to take the conversation away from direct payments, as proposed by the HEROES Act and as proposed by Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris. So why has Senator Sanders not said anything about it? Yesterday, he delivered a speech on Capitol Hill talking about cuts to Pentagon spending. Why didn't he say anything about this, that he adamantly opposes this? Because it's absolutely ridiculous. How are they going to propose giving you a tax credit that you will get to enjoy 9 months from now when you file your taxes, as opposed to giving you money now in your pockets that you need to go ahead and pay for necessary items, to pay for medicine, to pay for groceries, to pay for your rent, to make ends meet, to survive throughout this entire health and economic crisis? How are they going to propose that? It is absolutely ridiculous. People don't have money for essential items, and they're going to go out and start spending on things that are non-essential. And yet, Senator Bernie Sanders, who is facing a direct challenge to his proposal that can help the American people, and that more than 2/3 of Americans in swing state voters and out of it on both political parties have demonstrated that they want recurring direct payments. And he says nothing about it. Who's going to bite the hand that feeds him, basically? Who's to say, now I'm going to leave this up to you to answer. Who's to say that they told Senator Sanders, listen, go ahead and propose the recurring direct payments with retroactive pay that doesn't have a chance in hell of passing, and then we'll go ahead and propose our TRIP Act to replace it. You just stay quiet. That's why I hold everybody accountable, regardless of political party. I have no political affiliation. My objective is to help the people. You know, yesterday I was thinking about, imagine if I was growing up throughout this crisis. I grew up with a single mother, and my mother had to work 1 and 2 jobs simultaneously in order to ensure that we were never hungry. And I feel fortunate that this pandemic didn't hit while I was growing up. Fortunately, I work and I'm able to provide for my family through the entire pandemic. Nonetheless, I know that there are many people that are hurting. I know that you may be one of the viewers that are hurting throughout this time. Doesn't have money for groceries, doesn't have money for rent. And I know what it is not to have everything that you need. Not to have new sneakers. Your sneakers are talking. They're flapping because you haven't replaced them in months. I've been through that. So I feel fortunate that I grew up during a time when America was affordable. And a single mother was able to make it. At these particular times, I don't know what would be able to happen. So I feel for everyone out there, and I'm advocating for you and ensuring that you get exactly what you need and want and demand. Because the TRIP Act, it looks like it has great chances of passing. Even the Trump administration, they specifically talk about tax holidays for entertainment and for attendance of athletic events and traveling, etc. Nonetheless, when they talk about stimulus checks, we strongly consider it. I want to see the White House, the Trump administration demanding stimulus checks if they really support it, because they don't really support it. Nonetheless, the blogosphere is talking about, that it's confirmed, it's coming, the next stimulus check. He said yes. He hasn't said yes as yet. He needs to demand it. He needs to demand it. And not act like he's completely powerless before all of this nonsense, all of this facade. It's showtime. Larry Kudlow coming on talking about that, we may be open to tax rebates, but always talking about holidays for these industries that have been hit most. What about the individuals, the people, the American people that have been hit the hardest and don't have the resources to go out and save themselves? These companies, they have ways of finding more financing, of finding a way to stay afloat. Worst comes to worst, big hotel lines, they go bankrupt and they get all kinds of protections. What about the individual? What about the individual? What about you? Voice your concerns. The number is 202-224-3121. That's the Capitol switchboard to go ahead and tell these people exactly what's going on. They don't care about the American people. They keep knocking unemployment insurance, mainly the pandemic unemployment assistance, the $600 weekly payment that the federal government is funding for people on unemployment insurance. It, quote, disincentivizes people to get back to work, when the Chicago Federal Reserve actually just released a report finding that people on unemployment insurance make more of an intense effort to look for a job, to find jobs, as opposed to someone who has exhausted those benefits, because a person who has exhausted those benefits feels discouraged and goes into the job search with a negative mindset out the gate. I don't have money for the bills that I have to pay to make ends meet. The report actually found additionally that people who have exhausted their benefits actually have to take lower paying wages. And what did the CBO report in 2011, as per one of my previous videos? People who are receiving higher paying wages on a regular basis are more likely to spend than people who would receive a one-time payment, as what the HEROES Act is proposing. People want recurring direct payments. Make it happen. President, senators, everyone who is in power, make it happen if you want to keep your jobs. Because you have to remember, These people are employed by you. They are your employees. So hold them accountable. 202-224-3121. Hold them accountable. How would it be? How are you going to keep a job where you tell your boss, oh, I think that I'm going to think about delivering the report that you just requested next month. No one talks about how senators are making more on going on recess than working for the American people, but they do want to knock people on unemployment insurance for making more money than what they're making at their jobs, which brings up a whole nother problem altogether, because minimum wage is too low. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Watch this video right here for more stimulus coverage. Click the like button if you liked the video. Click the subscribe button to stay on top of my findings. I will do my best to report what other people won't. Talk soon. May God bless each and every one of you. May God bless the United States of America and everybody else on this planet.